What's poppin'? It's your boy DJ Chalk on the block.
What's the deal? This is C Real. Y'all are tuned into the night show. Once again, y'all, we need y'all to really quickly drop a like on this video and make sure you're subscribed because that's what gets us up in YouTube. So we really appreciate it. But but on a serious note, the guest we have here today, man, he's always been about his business. This guy's the definition of hustling, grinding, and just putting in that motherfucking work, okay? He's trained people from NBA athletes, NFL athletes, and beyond. So you could say he's your athlete's favorite trainer.
Yes.
Jay Sutaria.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Jay?
How y'all doing?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, but y'all hype me up way too much.
Hey,
on this,
man, you know what? That's what we do here, man.
People gotta know what's up, Jay.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good.
How's your day?
It's cool. I mean, Friday. So
You got to hang out with the night show podcast.
night show podcast. Highlight of my week. Save the best for last.
Definitely. So how was your Whataburger meal?
I don't know what you're talking about. Like I said, it's Friday. We can cheat a little bit.
That's
you know what I
okay,
mean?
bro. No, everyone's has hope now because you eat Whataburger. So.
Oh yeah, once a week. Once every other week.
Absolutely.
Well,
bro.
I have a wife that's pregnant. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, whatever wifey wants, then you gotta help her out.
Yeah, exactly.
So whatever wifey eats, you eat.
I'm just supporting.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
As a husband should.
As a husband should.
So, Jay, just go ahead and give the people a little bit of background info on who Jay really is.
Man, I'm still figuring myself out, to be honest. It's been a process, and I'm a trainer to the outside world. I'm a trainer. I work with some pretty cool people, some people in the spotlight, which indirectly puts me in the spotlight. But I don't like to live my life that way. And so in short terms, I help people get better, whether they're injured and they need to feel better, or, they are a professional athlete and they need to move better, or perform better on the court or on the gridiron. Like, that's my job. So that's my job, but my job doesn't define me, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. So personal trainer, this is what you would call yourself?
Personal trainer, yeah. But at home, I'm a husband and a dad.
Absolutely.
That's it.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So growing up, were you athletic always? Were you an athlete? Did you play sports?
I mean, I think I like any child, I got more athletic as time went on, but I was always into sports, so that helped. We how old are you guys?
31.
Yeah, same here, right? So we caught, our intro to sports or basketball was the tail end of that was Jordan's 6th championship. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We were 6-7 years old when that happened. So at that age, you're picking up on sports, and so it just happened to be Jordan, and it was this guy is like God, mm-hmm. right? And now it's cool to be in the realm of working with guys that know him personally.
Right.
That is pretty crazy, man. Having that, it's like your second degree connection, right? You literally know somebody who knows Jordan. But you know what? I wish I got to see Jordan's career through its entirety.
Kind of like we saw Kobe's.
Exactly.
Yeah, we saw the whole thing.
When Kobe, when he came to the league, it was 96. I was 6 years old. I feel like LeBron,
mm-hmm.
I've seen.
We've seen the whole thing.
Yeah, we've seen the whole thing, right?
Yeah. That's true. That's very true. And it's weird to think back, and Jordan. To me, there's one person, maybe two, that I would actually be starstruck by in the basketball world. Mm-hmm. Jordan and Allen Iverson. That's really it, And it would have been Kobe, but so that's it.
So if you saw LeBron, you'd be like, "What's up, dog?"
Oh, I've been 2 feet from LeBron and never said for 2 hours straight, never said a word to him.
Really?
Yeah. It was the Lakers were in town. It was LeBron's private party, and Dwight Howard invited me to the party.
Oh, nice.
And so it was the whole team was out there, and
that's
I mean, LeBron is just having a good time, so I'm not in the space to, it's cool, do your thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard not to. I'd be fanboying across all these NBA players. I'm like, man, what's going on? All these
yeah,
shit.
hell yeah.
Sign my sneakers, dog.
I think when you work with them, you realize that you're just like you and I.
Yeah.
They put their pants on the same way we put ours on. They just have, like I said, a spotlight on them. And that's what it is. They're cool people. A lot of them are really, really cool. Everybody that we work with is super cool. But at the end of the day, they're people. They have feelings. They, you know what I mean? Like they're just like you and I. And
Absolutely.
you
I
know,
wouldn't want to hang out with them personally, bro.
no, why not?
I mean, dude, think about it. If I stood next to an athlete, his dick would be just on top of his forehead. You know what I'm saying? Just
Well, I forgot I forgot it was like an NC-17 podcast.
I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? But I would be like, damn, just looking up at all. I wouldn't even talk to nobody normally. I'd just be like, what's up?
Now you see how I feel all day, right? So
Nah, I feel
Especially next to Dwight, bro. That man's like 7 foot tall.
I know.
yeah, now we work with a few 7-footers, 6'9", 6'10". You know, it's gotten to a point now where we work with so many of them and have been around them for so long that our perception of height is skewed. Like we'll see a guy that's 6'3" and not be able to say like to realize he's 6'3". You know what I'm saying? Like you would look like a 6-footer or something like that, and then we're like, we'll guess his height, and he's like, feels disrespected by it because he's actually much taller. But we're so used to seeing 7-footers that it just skews with our perception a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Nice. So back to, I guess, you growing up, like, was physical fitness always a big part of, your life? Or
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent. Like, I grew up, so I have an older brother. He's 2 years older than me. So naturally, I followed kind of in his footsteps, So he picked up on baseball first. Then it was I just was in his shadows, right? So I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to play baseball. And then I was never, like, really any good at baseball. I just liked to play because my brother played kind of thing.
Was your brother good?
He was better than me.
Yeah.
And then he picked up on basketball. And that was just like, we were very competitive from a young age. And so I picked up on basketball. And honestly, I think high school basketball and playing against my brother, because he's taller than me, he's lankier than me. So he has the advantage, right? He has a basketball player's body. The only thing I could do was get stronger, right? And kind of bully him.
And shoot.
Right? So I had to be fast and I had to be strong. And that was what put me in the weight room. That's it. And so I played like 5'7", 5'8", one of the smallest guys, shortest guys on my team. And I'm playing the 4 and the 5 because I could rebound.
Really?
Yeah, I could move guys, because I was strong. So that's
leverage,
what it was.
leverage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
That's dope.
So shout out to Chuck Hayes, who's a client of ours. Yeah.
Oh, he's a beast, bro.
Chuck Wagon.
Chuck Wagon.
Yeah, he was a legend here, bro.
Is his free throw still fucked up?
Man, I can't talk shit about him because he beat me on Papa Shot. And so he cheated, I mean, clearly cheated. Like he wouldn't even let me get a shot off. Like who boxes somebody out on Papa? Like I don't understand. It's in his blood.
Yeah, strike competitor.
Yeah.
Wait, is he still hooping or just for training?
No, we're trying to work. I'm trying to convince him to come back because the Rockets desperately need him.
Oh, really?
No, but he won't even listen to that, man. He's in the Rockets front office now. So Chuck maybe 37, something like
I didn't know he was still with the Rockets organization.
I think Chuck has a good shot to eventually be a GM of a team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So his boss is the Rockets GM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so he's involved. Like trade deadline just passed. Chuck was involved in a lot of the moves that the Rockets made.
Okay.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Man.
Yeah, I had no idea.
That's his calling, man. But he still wants to be fit and move like an athlete and all that, right? So we see him 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
So did you know at a young age you wanted to get into the fitness world, personal training? So like how did that transition kind of happen?
It kind of went like I wanted to be a physical therapist, and then the first step to that is kind of understanding the body, right? So my dad actually had the idea that, he was like, Jay, you're always in the gym. Have you ever thought about being a personal trainer? I was like, actually, no, I haven't, but that would be kind of cool, right? And so
the fact that your dad actually mentioned that too,
as like an immigrant from India, like and he's an engineer, you know what I mean? Like my brother's a doctor, my mom worked for Memorial Hermann, like corporate all the way, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it was huge for him to say that, and at the time, I guarantee you, he had no intention of me picking this up as my full-time career because I was still pursuing physical therapy.
Right.
But anyway, long story short, I signed up for a pretty detailed personal training program. I started teaching for that program, and we had a student come in that was a physical therapist from England, and I saw how kind of one-dimensional that field is. So I was like, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I want to be kind of like a jack of all trades where I know a little bit about everything. And I just went from there. I told my dad, like, I'm going to just be a trainer. He was a little upset. You can't make good money. You won't have a good paycheck, a consistent paycheck. It's going to be hard. And I said, just watch.
That's
So
dope.
it went from there. Yeah. But he supported me. Like, he's always supported me and given me what I needed to be successful.
Just normal concerns, right?
Normal. Yeah, exactly. I mean, your dad is making, like, he is the reason that we're in the position that we're in today.
Yeah.
So naturally, he's gonna teach us based on his own experiences,
Absolutely.
right? So
Yeah.
in a way, it's like I'm letting you down right now, but I'm also motivated by not letting you down.
Exactly. Yeah.
So was that like the only challenge you faced, like in that whole process? Did you go through anything else? Was there any challenges like getting into the besides the
I mean,
friction from your parents and stuff like that?
the biggest challenge aside, that wasn't a challenge. That wasn't
yeah,
even like
just- yeah.
we didn't even go back and forth on that really.
Right, right.
The
Just
biggest
discussion.
challenge was being 19, 20 years old in a field that is just littered with guys in their 40s, and you know what I mean. Like you're the young guy, so they look at you like you don't really know what you're talking about. When really, you have the most up to date knowledge because training is a science. It's based on anatomy and the body, and that always changes.
Right.
So really, I was coming out of school like I have a degree in exercise science from U of H. So really, I got the most up to date knowledge. So I'm doing things that are untraditional for the time for those older trainers, right? So they're looking down on you like this guy doesn't really know what he's doing. He's trying too hard, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
really, that set me up. That education set me up because I was able to apply it in a setting what got me kind of noticed a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So for those who follow you on social media, they've seen some of the athletes that you work with, right? Some of the top NBA players, NFL players. So like, could you let us know who was the first professional athlete that you trained?
I trained a couple of guys that very short term, sporadically. But the first guy that really trusted me with his body for a whole offseason was, I don't know if y'all remember him, James Casey. He was a tight end for the Texans for a few years, then the Eagles. And he had
Went to Rice, right?
yeah, he was Rice product. Yeah, super like to date. And I trained James 2014, maybe something like that. But to date, like top 3 most professional guys I've ever worked with. And so it was huge for him to trust me because at the time he had like 6 knee surgeries on his lateral meniscus, and he just he wasn't getting relief. So he approached me in the gym. He was like, "Hey, I see you doing a lot of stuff for knees with your clients. Could you show me some things?" And then that turned into, he trusted me for 2 hours a day, 5 days a week for the whole off season. And he was a part of that championship Bronco team.
Yeah, that's right. Right. And so, was he training at one gym and you just happened to be training or like coaching there, or?
Yeah. So the gym that I was at was, I mean, you could pay a rent to train at that gym, right? So I was training my own clients there or whatever.
So
and
you're pretty young at this age.
I was like 20. No, 24.
24, yeah.
And so he was training with the owner of that gym at the time. That was his main trainer. And the owner worked with a lot of NFL guys. Like Arian Foster would be in there. Kevin Walter would be in there. Connor Barwin. Like, you just had a lot of guys.
Yeah. Arian's my dude, man. I follow him on Twitter.
Super cool guy. A solid stand-up guy. Well, James, like I said, like he approached me. His trainer, the owner of the gym, wasn't in the gym at the time. And he approached me just to show him some stuff, right? And so I'm like, obviously young, right? But I know about knees. Like that's my shit, right? So I'm helping him out. While I'm helping him, I'm like, "Hey man, does the owner know that I'm working with? Like, did you tell him anything?" He was like, "Nah, I didn't." I said, "Cool, I'll call him when we wrap up." Long story short, owner comes in, sees me working with James, and just unleashed on me. Unleashed on like you don't know the first thing about fucking training. You don't know how hard it is to get a professional athlete. Now you're trying to steal a guy from me.
Damn, he really thought you were out there just trying to steal him?
Yeah, and really like, man, I'm helping James like no charge. You know what I mean? It's not about the money. It's like I need to help you because you asked me for my help, so I feel obligated to give you my knowledge, right?
Exactly.
And then, shoot, he yelled at me. I went back into the gym. James was like, "How'd it go?" I said, "Man, he's not happy." He's like, "Cool, I'll talk to him." 2 minutes later, James and the owner are having a shouting match in the parking lot. I'm not going to tell you what was said, between them, but basically I got a text from James saying, "Yo, I know you can't come back in this gym, but wherever you end up, I'm with you."
Damn.
That's awesome.
Just like that.
Just like that. So super cool.
That's awesome.
You straight up, I mean, you manifested that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you.
I mean, right place, right time.
Yeah.
But also,
I think he found value in you too. So he probably saw there was.
It's good to say. It's good to think that because if he didn't find value in me, he wouldn't have never stayed.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. I think there was a sense of trust for sure. I mean,
Definitely.
you obviously you probably came off confidently, knowing exactly what you were talking about. You told him this is right up your wheelhouse. knees, right? So and that's
Yeah.
exactly with the same issue that he's been having.
And he
consistently.
felt better when we wrapped up the session. It wasn't even done. You know what I mean? Like we were halfway through the session, the owner walked in, but you had to have felt better.
Imagine, bro. Like you've been trying to work on your knee for years, and you did half a session with you,
Yeah.
and you're already alleviating some pain.
Yeah,
right? So
exactly,
it's like, oh,
exactly. Yeah.
that's all it takes, man. You know, like especially as an athlete, bro.
I mean, you do something different, and you help a guy out, they're locked in.
Yeah, for sure.
They're locked in. You know,
And they know.
I mean, they can tell intention.
Yeah.
They're not dumb, right?
Yeah,
Just like you and I could tell somebody's intention pretty quickly. They probably pick up
I
on it
feel like-
faster because they have a guard up
Yeah.
all the time.
No, absolutely. And
Everybody's just after their money.
they've been probably working on their body every day for
The
their
good
whole
ones,
life.
yeah, the good
So
ones.
they probably can tell immediately, like, you know, like, oh, this is making a difference.
It's
right?
an
So
investment. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and if you look at it that
that's
way,
all you focus on day in, day out. So you know your
you're
body.
not getting that contract if you're not healthy. Simple as that.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
For sure. So by training James Casey, did that open up a lot of doors for you as far as athletes?
I mean, you would think so, you know, like, but one professional athlete is not going to open many doors for you. What it did do is it gave me the confidence to know that what I was doing worked, right? And that transitioned to me having the confidence to go and approach a guy like Dwight Howard, who was the next big name that I worked with. You know?
Wow. So how did that happen? Because that was, when I saw that was the first, I guess, athlete that I saw you training on social media, and I was like, holy shit, how did this
That was
happen?
huge. So it's super random, man. But basically, he posted on social media, and mind you, at the time, like I'm not really busy, right? Like I'm a new trainer, new-ish, right? And he posted, he was like, I'm gonna be handing out cupcakes at Sprinkles Cupcakes. You know, come and stop by for a picture and a cupcake from Dwight Howard. Right? And I'm like, look at my schedule.
Dwight's the kind of guy I could totally see him handing
He's a
out
people
cupcakes.
person. Yeah, he's a people person, right? So I'm like, you know what? My schedule's not busy. So I put, you know, one of my company shirts on my back with the intention of giving it to Dwight. When I saw him in the line when I got to the building, man, it was wrapped around the corner, right? So I was like, oh, shit, I don't know if I'm going to see him or not. Long story short, I ended up, you know, getting into the building. We made eye contact. I was in line. We made eye contact. I said, how's your knee? And he kind of he's like, it's good, but he kind of made a face, you know, because he had just sprained his MCL in the playoffs that year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So this was off season now, and so it's still bugging him. So I'm like, get to the front of the line. I'm right in front of him, and I was like, yo, man, like I could help you with your knee. Just like that. So
Straight up.
everybody there is there for a picture with Dwight Howard. I'm there to shoot my shot. Like I can help you get better and go back to making millions. So he was like, oh man, let's take this picture and then like give your number to my manager over here and he'll call you. Right. And that's how it went. So I gave him a number. I gave him the shirt off my shoulder. He pulled out a Sharpie to sign it. And I'm like, Dwight, like, I don't want your, like, I think I have one signed jersey from Dwight. Like, that's not me. Right. Like, it's cool to work with you, but that's not why I'm here. And he was kind of taken aback by it. Right. Because you finally see somebody that's like, I'm not here just to like for the fame. And then, man, one day it was like 4 weeks later or something like that. His manager called me. It was like, hey, man, long story short, or I'm going to keep it short. Big fella wants to take you to Miami and Vegas. And if he likes what you're doing, then he wants to take you to Dubai and China.
Damn.
And
That's
we went
dope.
everywhere. We went everywhere.
That's dope.
Just like that.
That's
Just like that.
crazy, man. You just shot your shot, and that was. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's like you just found an opportunity. It was a small gap window, and you just.
I'm already
Take
not,
it.
at that point, right? I'm already not training Dwight Howard. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Exactly, right?
Absolutely, but a lot of people don't think like that, and so like for the people that are young viewing or anybody that's starting up a business, that's huge. Like that's half of it is like just grabbing your nuts and just doing it,
Yeah,
bro.
just
You know what I
doing it.
mean? Just
Just doing
manifesting it and make it happen. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That's half of it. You know,
You-
and look
you-
what you did. You just waited in the line and shot your shot, and the universe just kind of handled the
I
rest
mean,
of it.
you
Bro.
you weigh your pros and cons, and my
Yeah.
biggest con was I continue not training Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a great con to have. Like,
Exactly. Were you nervous approaching him, or did you have a game plan in mind? Or?
nah, I don't ever, like, even, it's going to sound bad, right? Even my training, like, I have a plan for the individual and I have phases, but every session is on the fly because I never know how much sleep you got, what you ate, how you're feeling, how sore you are. So every session's on the fly.
That's awesome. That's dope.
I mean, yeah, because I think you've been training people for so long, you kind of know, the process and how exactly, how somebody's feeling and how to, adjust and pivot from
So I'll tell y'all the story, right? So my first training job I ever had was at U of H at the rec center, right? So I became a trainer over there first. And as a student, like, that's cool, right? It's good money. I think I was making like 20 an hour for a set. You know what I mean? Like, as a student training clients.
Yeah, that's good.
Right?
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. So for the interview process, I had to train my manager, right? And I wrote down the workout that I was going to have that manager do. Mind you, like, in my program for personal training, I had already been training other students for 3 months. So this was like not a new thing to me, right? I wrote down the workout that I was going to have them do. And at the end of the workout, one of the other managers that was supervising, she pulled me aside and said, "Hey, just trying to see, like, what was the warm-up for the workout?" And I was like, I forgot to put him through a warm-up. Right? And I had it written down and everything. I just completely forgot. And I was like, I'm an idiot. You know what I mean? And so that was the last time I wrote a workout out.
Wow. So even today, you don't write anything out?
I write a plan.
And
and so we have like what we call macro cycles, which is like for an athlete, NBA, that's a 12-week program.
I got you.
Right? And then you have like a micro cycle, which would be like what we're doing on a day-to-day.
Okay.
I don't write micro cycles out.
Gotcha.
I'm like, okay, we're working. You have like these planes of motion that your body works in. So, okay, we're going to work front to back today. We're going to work lateral tomorrow.
And there's no weights involved.
There's weights involved.
Oh, there is?
It depends on the phase. Usually for the first 1 or 2 weeks, we don't lift weights. It's just mechanics.
Okay.
And we deload because the guys have been in season.
So you don't. I didn't cut you off.
No, you good.
You don't forget, like, if you did legs and then like do the legs the next day or something like that.
But even if I forgot, I would still, every session that somebody comes in, I still ask them how they're feeling. So even if I had you do legs yesterday, if your legs feel good, I might throw in more leg stuff today.
Okay.
It just depends on how you're feeling.
So is that thing where they say, like, don't work out with weights anyway, like your body, let's say your legs,
like
right?
consecutive days or whatever?
Is that like a thing?
It depends on the muscles that you're doing, that you're emphasizing. It depends on the way you're doing the lifts.
Right.
Because I could do back squats today and front squats tomorrow, and I'm hitting some different muscles.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't load it as much.
Because we all know that one person that's at the gym working out his biceps and triceps every day.
And
you know what I'm saying? Not doing legs at all.
That was me for a long time.
As long as nobody does that in our squat rack, I'm happy.
Yeah.
It also depends on your recovery time too, right? Everybody's different. So yeah, if you could, obviously work out the same muscle group multiple times a day, just
listen, man. Take an NBA player for example, right? So I'm gonna use the Rockets for example, right? So the Rockets are playing tonight in Minnesota, and they play again tomorrow in Minnesota. That's legs 2 days in a row.
Exactly. 100%.
That's true. Yeah. Speaking of your boy Dwight, he got ejected yesterday.
I hit him on that too, man. I texted him about that this morning.
I don't even know why he got ejected though.
Dwight knew what he was doing.
He was instigating.
No,
He's an instigator.
No, he was,
Yeah.
but he didn't do anything. I don't know, bro.
Nah, these refs, I'm not gonna lie.
Montrez pushed him.
They are soft.
They're super soft.
They're
this year.
getting
He didn't
softer
touch him.
and softer.
He didn't touch him.
No,
he
he
did.
just got in the way.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
you can do that though, right?
He's just being a bully, and I like.
No,
that,
I mean
that
it was intentional.
Cool. That was fine, right? Like back in the day, Dwight could be a bully and it's fine.
But I thought you could
But
be
these
that
days,
close. You can't be that close.
He just did it intentionally, so they teed him up for it. And he already had a tech because they called a double tech. He did it again.
Okay.
They won the game.
Montrez is kind of soft too sometimes. He be acting crazy.
He? I don't know. I think Montrez is a beast, bro.
He's a beast, but he be acting like he gets emotional.
He's a very emotional player.
And so does Patrick.
Yeah.
But they remind me of
P-Bev does get.
But I like Pat. I like both of them.
They're good players.
You ever work with Pat Bev?
No, we just when I worked with Dwight, we all went to dinner. So I've been around him a bunch, but I never worked with him. There was an opportunity there. He was like, we were at dinner, and he was like, "Yo, you want to go work out?" And I'm like, "Right now?" He's like, "It was like 11 o'clock at night, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." And he was like, "Nah, man, it's too late. We ain't go."
I just ate snake.
He's trying to test you.
He tried to test me. Like, is he?
Do they eat a lot? Like, if you go to dinner with Dwight, like, does he eat a bunch of food? Like,
when I worked with him, yeah, Dwight could eat.
Like, but they do it on purpose, or they do it like
depends. Like Dwight, if you got a whole weight, yeah, you're eating. Like I work with, he just got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers from the Nuggets, Isaiah Hartenstein, right? And so one of his goals is to consistently be above 250, right, in season and all that. But he doesn't have the body type to sustain that if he doesn't eat a bunch.
Gotcha.
So it depends on the player.
Just carbs and whatever.
Everything.
They can eat whatever at the end of the day, right? As long as they're burning it.
That's like a really common misconception.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're not putting the muscle on at that point. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like you want to be able to still move and be powerful. And if you're eating junk, you're contributing fat instead of muscle. You know what I mean?
Got you.
So, Jay, talk about that trip with Dwight to Miami and Vegas.
So again, like he was coming off the knee injury, right? And so my vision was, let's get your knee right, and then we work on conditioning and getting ready for the next season. So we went to Miami. We worked out at the U, right? And I sat him down and I was like, look, man, everybody knows that your knee is hurt. Nobody needs to know what we're doing to fix it. They just need to know that you're coming back better. So we're going to lift today, but we're not going to start our lift until you feel like your knee is good. And he looked at me like his knee's been hurting for a long time, right? He gave me a look like, man, I just brought the wrong dude on this trip, right? And then on top of that, I said, and for your lift, we're not going to lift a weight today, right? So you can imagine the look on his face, right? And so we get to the U, and I have him do a bunch of knee work and mobility stuff and all that. And then about 15 minutes in, I said, how's your knee? He was like, I don't feel it. I said, cool, let's lift. So we started lifting, and I mean, he was full sweat, right? First workout of the off season, full sweat. And I saw him take a selfie, like just sweat, right? And I remember,
Just looking juicy.
I remember texting my wife, right? And I was like, I think he liked it. And then boom, the rest is history. So that transitioned to, like, we went from Miami straight to Vegas because of USA basketball. And then the last night in Vegas, we're just hanging out in his suite at the hotel, and he comes out and was like, yo, this is what flight we're on to Dubai.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead and book it. So
Dang.
basically, like, we're going home to Houston tomorrow morning, or yeah, I think we're going home to Houston tomorrow, and then the next night we're going to Dubai.
Damn,
That's
straight
dope.
like that.
Just like that.
And were you getting paid the whole time?
Yeah. I was getting, well, so I hadn't talked money with him until we got to the airport to go to Dubai.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so everything up to that point was like, I'm cool if, you know what I mean? Like, this
Yeah,
is worth it
yeah,
for me,
for
blah,
sure.
blah, blah. And then he was like super cool about, he understands it. You know what I mean? Like, he's taking me away from my business over here. He's taking me away from my family.
That's another big thing for anybody that's trying to get into a business or trying to, that just wants to do something that they love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, you went for free originally.
It's an investment, right?
Yeah.
No,
It's-
absolutely.
It didn't cost me anything. He flew me out there.
No,
he,
for
He
sure.
put me up in the
Yeah.
hotel and all that. But
But you did it
at the end of the day, what's the worst case scenario?
Nothing.
I got a free trip
Yeah.
to Miami and Vegas to work with Dwight.
Absolutely.
Put me on the map.
Exactly. Right. That's
A lot of people don't realize that though. They feel like they gotta get paid immediately too. You know what I mean? So it's just like
A lot of
I mean,
people though, and I'll be
I'm
very. Go ahead.
no, I'm
yeah.
sure you knew at some point you would get paid if
Yeah.
you did right by him.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you also knew like the opportunity, right? Probably that was coming with that. You
I
know?
understand people that, like for me, I do things because I feel like an obligation to do it the right way. Okay, I understand people that have the opposite viewpoint. Like, I do it for the money. I understand that because a lot of those people came from a situation, like I was blessed growing up,
Absolutely.
right? So I feel like they came from a different situation, and so yeah, money is the motive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus for me, money is it's a reward for doing the good work. It's not my why. It's a reward.
That's awesome. That's a great way to look at it.
So
That's a really good way
like
to look at
I get like for the longest time, literally until we opened our facility, we would invoice clients for all sessions that they did that entire month on the last day of the month. So we got post paid.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And now like having my own facility, like it has to be opposite. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah,
but
definitely.
but for almost 10 years, I was paid after I already did the work.
Wow.
Is that the case with most trainers? I guess like when you work, I guess, is that how it was with athletes versus I guess regular people, or was it always the same
It
case?
was always the same. Yeah, the only difference is the athletes, you kind of go through their financial advisor. You send an invoice or whatever, and you go through their financial. But now I would take the money even from an athlete in advance.
No, we're not getting too much into your pockets. I think the whole point of this is that like you were willing to, you believed in yourself enough
Mm-hmm.
to go do something for free, knowing that if I do this right the way I know I can do it,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna
It's gonna
result.
come.
It's gonna
The-
yield. You know what I mean?
Like that reward is gonna come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, and that's a lot of things. A lot of risk. That's a risk a lot of people won't take.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
and
You
it's
know what I mean?
and the reward did come. Like Dwight paid me. Like my kid's education is taken care of.
Right.
I haven't touched the money that he paid me.
That's,
You know what I mean?
that's
Like
crazy.
like I can't wait for my kids to be old enough to understand. Like Dwight Howard paid for your college education.
That's huge, bro.
You know, your
Hell
dad
yeah.
did the work,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, Dwight was his employer.
Yeah.
He took care of it.
Absolutely.
That's
No.
amazing. Yeah, how many kids can say that, right?
Yeah.
And it all started with the standing in line at the sprinkles.
Sprinkles cupcakes.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
it.
that's my focus here, man. It's just
Yeah.
like the story, like with a lot of successful people or business owners, is first this comes with a believing in yourself,
Right.
and then it comes in taking a leap of faith,
Right.
right?
Right.
And then it's being consistent and like putting in the work,
Right.
You know,
Right.
and then eventually the results are just it's gonna happen.
I tell everybody, man, if you just love what you do, right, and do it with the right intentions, and you will be rewarded for it.
Exactly, 100%. I feel that too, man. You
Yeah.
just got to get in, just completely involved in the process. You got to love the process, and then not you shouldn't be looking for the monetary reward because you love what you're doing. That shit is gonna come, and it happens all the time.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So it's just, you know, you love what you do, man, and it's
That's it.
to be doing something that you love. Not everybody can do that, you know, and it's your job.
You're right.
You know?
Yeah, and
So you're
I
very
read a
lucky.
book the other day. I finished the thing in like a week, man. It's a long book, but it's called Atomic Habits, right? And in the book, I'm gonna mess up the quote for sure, but he says something along the lines of, the people that succeed, like the most successful people in the world, whether it be in sports or business or whatever, they are not perfectionists. They don't fall in love with the job. They are very, very content being bored, because you have to do the same things over and over and over again and be completely fine doing it that way.
Yo, that's a light up you just shine on me, because sometimes that's my flaw.
Yeah.
Is I'm like so like worried about being everything has to be perfect. Sometimes I lose track of just doing it.
Just
You know
do
what I
it.
mean? You
Just
got to
do-
do it,
yeah.
and over time that perfection will come because
Exactly.
you repetitively do it. You
Yep,
know
exactly.
So I'm trying to get myself to stop thinking like every time you do something has to be perfect.
Perfect.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I'm a
definitely.
perfectionist in every sense of the
Yeah.
word, and I'm trying to get away from that as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh, that's cool, man.
So I think that perfection kind of got me to a certain level, but now, once you hit that level, you have to kind of sit back and be like, okay, what can I change? What can I get better at?
Yeah.
And when you're building a business, absolutely things got to be perfect,
Yeah.
right? Like
Absolutely.
the big things got to be perfect.
Right.
100%.
And then
Yeah.
once you've built it, you can step back and say, look, this is going to be fine. Like me, I'm at a point right now. We finished our first year in business.
Congratulations.
I appreciate that. Thank
Congrats,
you. Thank
congrats.
you.
Yes.
But we finished it through COVID
Okay.
in the green. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah.
so I have to now sit back as a business owner and say, we're good, right? Like I can go back and reprioritize, put my family back first, right? And we're going to, like, the business is going to be good. If we made it through COVID, our first year,
Yeah.
what am I worried about?
Definitely,
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, you know, speaking on the same topic, like all the things that you did, I mean, there was high points that we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
but were there any low points along the way that you dealt with mentally, just, you know, trying to fight through anything, just trying to make it out on top?
So I'm gonna tell you something that I've never publicly said before, right? So when I was 18 and I was about to graduate high school, I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety and depression.
Oh,
They
wow.
call it GAD. And so I was on medicine for it, and I got off the medicine because it made me nauseous and stuff. And I was like, look, like I'm literally in college at U of H, and it's a 500-person auditorium for chemistry class. And I had taken that pill in the morning, and I went to class, and I remember 10 minutes in the class, ran out the back door and just threw up.
Oh, wow.
And so I made a decision right then and there, like, if I'm going to beat this, I'm going to beat it with this, not with the pill.
Wow.
And so I started seeing a psychologist when I was in college, right? So my whole, probably 2-3 years of college, I was seeing weekly a psychologist, right? And it's awesome for a
Yeah.
college to have psychological services on
Absolutely.
campus.
Yes.
And so it's been like, it made me so much better. Like I got 90% better just talking to somebody and understanding how to deal with it and all
Like
that.
mentally?
Mentally,
Okay.
yeah. So I was able to deal with that stuff, right? But then it's like you make decisions when you're in that down phase or that spiral, you know what I mean? And like like that's part of like I'm seeing a therapist again right now because the whole past year was prioritized on building the business. You see what I'm saying? And so things were like messed up by me in my marriage where my wife and my son kind of came second, really unintentionally, right? And then mistakes were made, and so now it's like I'm glad I caught like I'm glad I got very glad I caught myself, right? Because it could have been way worse than what it is now.
Exactly.
But I'm at a point where like I need to dial back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, I respect you so much for even saying any of that stuff because
Facts.
I mean, I've definitely dealt with it. Probably still am dealing with it. You make me feel like anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? Because looking at you, but from the outside perspective, you're like in shape, healthy dude. No one's ever gonna know that. You know what I mean? But everybody, and some of the strongest people deal with stuff. You know,
you can't see a person's brain.
You can't. You know, but it's always that dog in you that's gonna get you out of those situations, right?
Right.
And a lot. I talked to a lot. I have mentors and stuff that I talk to. They are older, and they all went through stuff like this. Lawyers, they have law firms, whatever it may be. Like they all, maybe put their family second and prioritize the business, stuff like that. They're very successful, but now they're going back and trying to fix all those things and stuff. But at least you caught it.
Older, right?
Like, at least you're smart enough to know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
now,
yeah.
You didn't go 20 years doing it. You just,
I've been in 4 other gyms, and the owners of all 4 of those gyms are divorced. Right. So I made a promise to myself. So I told my wife before I went to Dubai, right? I remember hugging her in the kitchen, and I was like, if you ever see this getting to my head, bring me back down to earth. Right. Like, because I would never want to be that guy. Yeah. And so it was cool. Right. And then I built the gym. Right. And you just like very unintentionally, you lose sight of like it's so fucking frustrating because the same people that are your why, your family, are the same people you end up letting down.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? How fucked up is that?
I'm going through it right now, so I'll just put it out there. You know what I mean? I feel you 100%. I'm literally dealing with that right now. You know, it's hard to see like you said, you can't read somebody's brain. So like telling somebody something is one thing, but then it's kind of like. People need to see. You know what I mean? People need to see sometimes, right? So that's all people need. And if they're reasonable enough, they'll, people will understand that, right? And they'll stick by your side. Like, I'm lucky to have a loyal wife. You
and I both.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to the wifeys.
Absolutely. And they believe, right? Yeah. So it's that also motivates me. I'm like, I can't fail. I'm not going to fail, So I used to have a lot of self-doubt, like about myself, my confidence for like 10 years, right? But now I'm finally at a point where I'm like, I feel like the shit finally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all it takes. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's just if you believe in yourself and you're a good person, you have good values, ethics, it always comes back around.
And when you fuck up, you'll catch yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're a good person,
you can't get egotistical either. You gotta have like a good balance.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It comes down to awareness, right? Like, do you have that self-awareness, or are you too wrapped up in your day-to-day, right?
So for like when you have the gym and you lose track of your priority, or you don't lose your priority changes, right? So my priority, there is no way you can prioritize a business. And you just can't prioritize 2 things at the same time. Man. That's what the word priority means. It's one thing, right? So very unintentional, very indirect that you lose sight of what used to be the priority, and that's your family. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's like you don't. I'm not saying that's not your why, right? But then you have to build the business, right?
Yeah.
And so you build it, and then a year later you sit back and you're like, fuck. Like I gotta dial back in with who I am, because for this whole past year, I was somebody completely different.
Whatever it was, spending time with your son, whatever. Like, I feel you. Like, man. Yeah, dude, like, it's a lot.
Like my wife and I.
Just washing the dishes, baby.
Dude, listen, man, like my wife and I, we're taking a trip to Wimberley, right? Just like the hill country. And we're going on Thursday next week, coming back on Friday, right? Man, it is the first, my son is 3, he just turned 3. It is the first trip, just my wife and I, since she was 6 months pregnant with my son, and we went to Hawaii.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's frustrating because why didn't I think to do this earlier? And I was so wrapped up in building something great. Like, it is great. I don't regret it. I don't regret that, like with things because they taught me things.
Man, it's all about sacrifice, though, man. Like, especially for when it comes down to building a business, those first few years are the most critical. You're building the foundation to your business.
But like you guys said, though, shout out to the wives because they understand that.
Then that's the thing, right? Both of y'all have wives who see the vision, and they're down for the count.
Yeah.
So that's so important.
Yeah.
But you're not like, dude, I don't know. I don't know. You're not like 20, 30 years in where it's like, oh, I finally figured it out.
It's too late, bro. When you fuck up that far in, it's over.
No, but like a lot of people do, bro. Like a lot of people do. Like the money when they start seeing money, it's like, oh, everything is crazy. Money can change you. You know what I mean? So
for the worst though.
You're our age and you figured it out already. It's like a huge thing. I feel like, and
So that's the thing that like I've always had that like. So I think it comes down to hanging out with my older brother and his friends. And I've always been around older people. I vibe better with older people, right? And so that kind of made me a little bit more mature faster at a younger age, right? And so that maturity has now translated to the self-awareness world where I'm more aware of myself than a normal 31-year-old would be.
Absolutely, bro.
I like to think that at least. I don't know if it's true or not. There's no data.
Right. A lot of people that I know need therapy,
yeah,
including myself,
yeah,
right? So, and it is not a bad thing. And everybody that thinks they have it figured out, to me, are the ones that really need therapy.
So on that note, right, this is where I messed up. I was seeing a therapist throughout college, right? And I was good. Like, what I like to think, good. Like, in hindsight, I'm like, I did some things that I shouldn't have, I shouldn't have done. But I was pretty good when I was seeing the therapist, and then I fell off of getting therapy because I'm good, right? And that's my biggest challenge is when I feel like I don't need it, I stop going. So now I've rededicated myself. And when I do something, I hit it hard. Like, I don't care, like, it doesn't matter if it costs me $120, like $50 every time I go. I'm cool with it because without this, I'm useless.
Exactly.
My business is useless. I'm a bad trainer. I'm a bad husband. I'm a bad dad. So so I'm hitting it hard where I'm going twice a week.
Yeah.
And now I have a system, right? Like I'm going twice a week. Okay, cool. My new baby comes. Like I'll probably wean down to once a week, right? But I'm never going less than once a month. That's
dope.
it.
No, absolutely, man. I think that's a great thing. I think
because it'll keep you.
I'm learning. I'm learning from you. That's it's a learning process for me. Like, so I'm definitely learning from you, and I'm taking this in because, I don't think I would ever assume that, right? But I think it's beautiful because it shows you that you can be anybody and do anything and go through anything. And I saw a meme the other day that said something about like, you could be physically fit, go to the gym every day, eat healthy, all that stuff. But if your mental is not, like your mind is not right, like all that stuff really doesn't even matter.
Pointless. You've seen American Psycho, right? Yeah. With Christian Bale.
No,
I haven't. No.
Well, he's like a complete like perfectionist, right? All the way, like his body's on point. He moisturizes, exfoliates, everything down to his to a T. But he's fucking psychotic in the entire it's his mental balance is completely off. So yeah, man, like what you see on the outside isn't always reality, right?
And I think a lot of times people are trying to like please others versus please themselves, or like, you know what I mean? Like they want to impress or get approval and fit in or whatever it may be, instead of like really. So like the whole body thing, all that stuff is just to make the outward appearance look a certain type of way.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure.
No, definitely, man. That's deep though. I appreciate you sharing that.
Man. I think it's super important to share that. Yeah. And everybody to a certain extent goes through that stuff. Yeah. And some people are better at just putting it in their pocket and acting like nothing's wrong. And some people, you just can't do that.
Especially, it's important to talk about it amongst the Desi community because I feel like,
our entire makeup is about looking and feeling successful to everybody else, right?
Yeah. Right.
You know what
exactly.
I mean? So
exactly.
that's all it is.
It's almost like a taboo subject, right? Like, you have issues, suck it up, deal with it, right? Like, no, it's not. That's not how it is. We're human, right? We're not all just fucking robots, right? So
absolutely.
And it doesn't. I work with athletes that have psychologists.
For sure.
Teams employ sports psychologists for a reason.
Actors, everybody's doing it because they realize how important it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They realize
it's a necessity for
mental
real.
health is huge.
Yeah.
So
exactly. So going back to, I guess, the gym and how, your baby, pretty much. So could we talk about a little bit about, the business? Where is it located? What's it called? What differentiates your business or your gym from everybody else?
Everybody else. So we're not far from the Galleria. So like 59 and Fountain View, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're ducked off a little small side street. We have a private gate, like code to get into the building. Like it's super, super private because of who we have coming in. It was intentional to do it that way. And so I think
appreciate you, by the way, for doing that for me.
I'm sitting here with two guys that ain't even visited the gym yet. So
I haven't been to the gym.
He hasn't visited a gym.
But you know what though? I'm about to, dog. I'm about to. Okay, it's coming. All right.
Hey, he put it out there, guys. This is gonna be on YouTube.
Maybe
I can't wait.
We might have plans of maybe vlogging my weight loss. Who knows? That might be a potential plan. Y'all let us know in the comments if y'all want to
I'm
see
coming
that.
back on this podcast in 2023.
That's right.
Shit, we're gonna be training with you.
Okay, yeah.
Josh already got knee problem.
Dude, I saw a picture of you the other day training some lady. She looked like she was fucking just going in and you're just drinking coffee.
She's a great
That
client
was
of
dope.
ours, man.
That was a funny picture. I love that.
Tanya,
shit, dude.
yeah, she's an awesome client of ours, man. We like to have fun.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
so
for sure.
so to go
It's a
into
good
like the
photo.
gym, it's a great
Yeah.
So we do mostly one-on-one training. That's the main difference between what we do in other gyms and
Right.
facilities, right? So we don't do group workouts. I don't like that. I don't think it works. It's not our style.
So you're not in there doing a Soul Cycle or anything like that?
No, man. Like I'm not, and then we're not in there like yelling at people to go hard or fast. Like it doesn't go at your, you know what I mean? Like go at your pace. You're still gonna get better. I promise. And it's way so.
Like, hurry up, you fat fuck.
Yeah, like I don't understand that.
Well, okay, look, there's a difference though. You guys are obviously very much, involved with the client. I've seen multiple times at LA Fitness where the trainer just does not give a fuck. They're straight up chilling on their phone, like 1, 2, 3, liking pictures and
Yeah,
shit. Like
yeah.
they don't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah.
And it's always the funniest when you see like a trainer who's like out of shape. I'm like, I would not trust that trainer, bro.
Right.
I'm like, why the
Right.
fuck are you training me when you can't even train your own self?
It's just embarrassing, right? That's like
But
going.
they
That's
probably-
like going to a dentist with the most
But that's
jacked
a
up
low.
teeth.
That's a low level, right? Like compared to you guys, that's. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
you know what to
listen.
expect, right? Like when you go to LA Fitness or
exactly.
Fitness
Yeah,
Connection
it's
or
like
whatever.
free, pretty
Yeah,
much
pretty-
part of
If you train in the LA Fitness, those trainers can get an online 2-day. Like you go Saturday and Sunday, and you're a personal trainer. I'm telling you, that's how they do their at least
Oh my god! that
back in the
makes
day.
sense.
Like that's how they did their certifications.
No, I'm
you know?
sure, bro, because it has to be because it's so cheap.
Yeah.
Right, and then it's like you kind of know what to expect, right?
Right,
It's,
right,
it's
right.
not like you get what you pay for, bro. With anything, you know.
Yep,
So
exactly. So we're not cheap by any. Like I'll be the first person to tell you that we charge pretty high when it comes to Houston, right? But it's because we know, like, we know what we're doing, we know our value, and we know we're gonna get you better.
There you go.
absolutely.
So boom, now you know where to go. So are you? You said you're catered to. Well, your expertise is in knees, right? But
Knees, low backs, like just any injuries, because we're so detailed at what we do. I feel like we can fix a lot of things.
so you can't go in there. Or can you go in there? Do you have free weights? Is like
Yeah, so it's like full on gym. We got 2 squat racks, dumbbells to 100 pounds, leg press, squat machine.
What do you think
kettlebells,
about yoga?
barbells. I like yoga. I like hot yoga more than regular yoga.
Sweat.
Yeah,
Sweat.
yeah,
You think
yeah.
it's good for the body?
I do. Yeah. So pre-COVID, I was going every Saturday for hot yoga.
Nice.
yeah. I don't know if you'd want to be going in a hot yoga session right now.
Yeah,
during
with
COVID.
COVID.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, just perfect environment to just soak up all the fucking germs. in
Yeah,
the
not at all.
world.
Not at all. Nah.
Nah, I've done Bikram. a
Bikram
few
is what I
times.
would do. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that shit a few times. It's when you're done with that, bro. It is like the best. You just feel like just actually you sweat so
Did
much.
you ever take a nap after doing Bikram?
Yes.
I take a nap after everything. I'm gonna take a nap after this.
Can't even ask this dude questions.
No, but yeah, I have taken a nap.
The best nap ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro,
Oh my
for
God.
sure.
Best nap ever.
Man, I farted one time doing a pose. Still, like, there was an Asian lady behind me, and I know she smelled that shit. It was like one of the last poses. Just some of my fucking knees just squeezed out the wrong way.
And then he never went back.
Nah, that Asian lady never went.
Nah, I know there be old people in there farting this shit, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ain't none of them that damn flexible.
I don't know how
There's always like two people that know all the poses, that can do everything all dope, and the rest of them
Killing
just,
it. Yeah.
I go straight to the back, dude, because I'm not flexible at all, and like
Yeah.
nobody needs to see. I'm using the blocks and shit, you know, just to get myself up. But
Yep. No,
For sure.
I do like Bikram yoga though. I think it's good, and we actually over last summer we have a garage door, right? We just opened it, fresh air and all that. So we never had a COVID case that came out of our gym. I think it has a lot to do with just the fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
But we would actually put on yoga like on a TV, like one of the programs or whatever, and open the door and like group yoga
Oh,
at
nice.
the gym.
Yeah,
So it was
that's
actually,
dope.
but we didn't do it consistently enough. But I think we did it like 3 times, and it was actually pretty cool. We just kind of fell off.
Right.
We're about to have a yogi come on this
Oh, yeah?
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good friend of ours. He went to India, became a yoga instructor.
No way.
Came back. He does like, he teaches yoga.
So
over
he's
here.
official.
Oh, he's,
All the way.
dude, he kind of he's helped me change my life a little
Really?
bit. He's just full vegan. Just everything is just like, he's just different. You know what I
Solid.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's cool. He's going to be interesting.
That's really
Interesting one to
good.
watch,
That's
yeah.
really good.
So I wanted to ask you, it's like kind of back to, I guess, the clients that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So when they approach you, is there kind of like a vetting process, or do you guys figure out, or do y'all, are y'all compatible? Do you like, how does that process work?
Yeah, I mean, now we're at a point where like we kind of know from what other athletes are saying or who we work with. Like if a random person reaches out to us, and I say random, like a guy, like an athlete that we don't know or whatever, we usually have somebody in our circle that we can ask about that person. But the way we vet, honestly, if we like you, the way we determine that is that are we comfortable? Like I like to have some of our clients over for dinner at my house, right? So like you're around my family, my wife will come to the gym with my son, like that's the like family. And if I don't feel comfortable inviting you to the house, I know that right away, and I'm probably not like going out of my way to train you. Now, if you hit me up and you want to come in, cool, but I'm not going to be chasing after you. But like the good people, which is 99% of the folks that come into our facility, like I mess with them heavy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you mean the athletes only, or just like
Everybody.
Everybody. Oh, okay.
Everybody. Yeah. I mean,
So it's not just athletes who come to your gym.
No. I mean, if that was our business model, we would have been out of business to come December after the NBA season started. You know what I mean? So you have to have your bread and butter, which is the everyday working individual.
Yeah.
And then the athletes are kind of like the cherry on top.
So if somebody wanted to do like just try you guys out, see what you're about, like what would be the best route? Just call you, and then you like, is there like a week thing or like a 2-week package?
So we do everything in like 5, 10, or 20 session packs.
Okay.
So it's like number of sessions based instead of
Okay.
time based.
Okay.
Because that way you've committed. We know we can make a little bit more of an impact, and then we go from there.
Okay.
Yeah. So honestly, it's like my personal phone number is on the Instagram page. DM the Instagram page, stfhouston.com. Like it's all STF Houston. Like
Yeah.
you'll find us.
Okay.
It's super
Cool,
easy.
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So obviously our podcast is catered toward the younger audience, right? So what would you say to some of the youth, I guess, who want to follow in, your similar career path? What does it really take to really, rise up in the personal fitness industry?
I think number one is consistency, right? You got to be consistent, and not just not in our field, but in any business, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that a little bit earlier. So be consistent with what you want, and be consistent in how you go about getting it, right? That's number one. Number two is the education, right? So even those two go hand in hand. You have to be consistently educating yourself on the newest methods, the newest science, and all that stuff, right? And so our biggest thing was anatomy and physiology, because if you know the body and where things insert and originate, you can fix it.
So you accepting any interns right now?
Yeah, actually. So we're accepting applications, right, and resumes. So we have one starting. He's from South Carolina. We starting
Carolina.
early May. Yeah, we were connected by a mutual friend, like family member. So he's starting in early May, and he'll go till around the end of June, something like that. But our busy season goes through August. So, we're looking for people.
Imagine a kid coming out of, like, in college, getting an internship with you guys, about to be rubbing shoulders with professional athlete. It's like a dream come true, man.
Yeah, so it's actually like really hard to get the internship because of that. You know what I mean? Like we have to protect the privacy of our athletes and the clients, and we have to make sure that the person coming in isn't going to be weird about the situation.
Yeah,
you know,
you can't
keep it
jeopardize the quality of your brand.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. But the interns will be hands on with the clients. It's going to be a very hands on learning environment.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I told the last intern, I was like, look, you're going to be doing a lot of what we do in the gym. And that includes, like, if you see us cleaning toilets, like, yeah, you're going to be, we don't have a janitor. You know, we are the janitors, right? It's a 2-man show right now, me and Daniel.
I mean, that's how you
And
build
that's
some core values,
Yeah,
too. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh, so y'all be cleaning the best? See, that's what I'm talking about, bro.
I mean, so every Wednesday is clean the gym day. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
our
yeah.
philosophy was keep it clean so you don't got to get it clean.
So it's just 2 of you guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
A shout out to your partner. What's his name?
Daniel. D
Daniel.
Kiss.
What's
Yeah.
up, Daniel?
He really holds it down. Like, you know, it's really hard. There's a reason there's only 2 of us, right? Because it's very hard to find somebody that understands the values, the morals, and is a good trainer. And Daniel's the best trainer in our gym. And I'm not just saying that. Like the way he thinks about things and the way he applies, like he has many more strengths than I do. Like I'm the detail guy, but Daniel will have different ideas and keep things rolling the right way. And so
Absolutely.
it's important to have that, but we're really like interchangeable. You know?
Dude, that is so, man.
The fact that you found someone that aligned with your values and your views.
It's very hard to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, very hard to do.
I dealt with it, bro, starting this whole business.
Mhm.
Like, I've had people that I've trusted and just have not, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's
because people
listen.
don't value your brand the way you do. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of bring them in and hope that they do.
They
But
pick up on it. Yeah.
yeah, but
I've lost, parted with 3 trainers already.
yeah.
You know, and
For sure.
one of them was like, I was trying to groom him to be like my right hand. It just didn't,
Yeah,
it
no,
happens,
absolutely, it happens. No, and that's part. But because you value, you're not just just like hiring anybody. You know,
I mean, like the S in STF is Sutaria. It's my last name, right? Like it's my family name on the business. So you got to find somebody that values it that way.
Absolutely.
You know? So
Yeah.
and Daniel, he does a great job. Like if I need anything, he's there. You know, he
Yeah,
takes care of it as if it's
his.
Kissoon Training and Fitness. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's
man.
awesome, man.
Shout outs to him, man, for real.
Big shout out.
So your boy DJ's back in the H,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, man. He's back
Yeah.
where he belongs.
And for
DJ
those who don't know,
DJ Augustine
DJ
back.
Augustine.
got traded to Houston recently.
Yeah, last week, and shoot, we were on a high.
Yeah.
Just everybody was going crazy. You know, Cyril texted me, and I was like, my phone was so just back. Like I know D's phone was going crazy because my phone was going crazy.
One sec. For those that don't know, Jay and DJ are very close, right?
Yeah, we've been working together for 5 years now, and we are. It's funny because when you work with somebody for that long, you become more of you have a different relationship. You're not just client and trainer, right? But DJ, the thing I love about him is that no matter how cool we are off of the court or out of the gym, he listens to me when it comes time for his body. And that's
awesome.
very hard to find somebody that can separate the two. And DJ's got that, man.
But-
Like, our wives hang out, our kids hang out.
nice.
No, I mean, dude, when I saw him working out with you the following season is when I noticed his game change. And I'm not even just saying that because you're on the show. I'm literally saying I watched some games when he was in Orlando. And I don't know if that
Yeah.
was after or not, but
I started working with him, I think, after his first year in Orlando.
Okay, yeah, dude, I could literally tell. I mean, he was a little bit quicker, like left to right, agile, like everything was. He was shooting better. It was just the fluidity was there.
Shit, he
He was
signed a
fluid.
3-year contract, right?
He's on a 3-year deal right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, with he signed with Milwaukee, and then Milwaukee wanted PJ Tucker, so they sent us DJ, and I was
You
like,
can have.
You
I
can-
love you, PJ. I love everything you've done. But yeah, you could definitely.
I was never a
Definitely
PJ
don't.
fan like that anyway. I mean, like I know what he brings to the team, but like I don't know, bro. Like I just feel like he's just a little slow sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
and I
his
think
feet are
he's
so heavy.
36, bro.
Like, do you feel like that when you
He's
watch him
older.
play? Like his feet are just
he
heavy.
can still move, but the thing about honestly, the Rockets needed a backup point guard.
Yeah,
That's what it came
exactly
down to.
because Dante Exum was injured, and then DJ was. I watched him on that game that we won finally. Dude, he was balling, bro. Like
Yeah.
he he was left on the court in the fourth for like an extended period of time. He was running with the ones. Yeah, exactly. So, man, he just got into our system and was just facilitating, man. And he was quick and he was moving smooth. Like
DJ's like he's a general on the floor, right? And so you know what you're gonna get out of him, and I think he's worth the money for sure. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I work with him and he's like my brother, but every team, and DJ would tell you this too, every team needs a backup point guard that takes care of the basketball and runs the offense.
We grew up, by the way. I think you know this, but we grew up seeing him practice because he went to
Hightower. Yeah,
he used to be at the YMCA that we used to be at all the time. Yeah, we ran out half the court.
I'm gonna tell you all the stories. And when
he was a big deal, by the way, when he came.
Huge deal. Hell yeah.
So but I'm still this way. I'm so out of touch, and always was out of touch with high school and college basketball that I'm on the JV team, and my buddy on the team was like, "Yo, do you want to go to our varsity game tonight? We're playing against DJ Augustine." And I'm like, "Who is that?" Right? And I watched DJ play, and the whole time I'm like, "What's so special about this guy?" Right? Because he's like not really trying.
Yeah.
And I look up at the scoreboard, he's got 20 points, 20 assists, and I'm like, he's special, right? And
he's always been like that though, because I saw him play too live, like at Mercer. You know what I mean? And dude was just smooth. Like he's not too like showboaty or whatever, but he gets the job done.
Yeah,
and he's a high IQ player.
Yeah,
very. You can't coach the things that he does.
Yeah,
that's DJ's game.
Because I felt the same way that you did when I saw him. Because we used to sit when he came. That was a big talk. Oh, DJ Augustine's here. Blah 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 from
New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah. And then we used to sit there like on the other court and just kind of watch him play, and I'd be like, okay, he can shoot. Okay, this and that.
Yeah.
But then when I saw him play, I was like, damn, okay, he's
special.
Yeah, he's definitely.
But you're expecting flash when you hear about a player like that, right?
Exactly,
and he doesn't have flash. He never has.
Yeah.
But he can. He's a good, solid player. Yeah.
And that's why he's still around.
13 years in the league,
bro. That's what a lot of these NBA players that are in the league for that long do. Is just they're just consistent. They're not too flashy. They do put in the work.
Exactly. And DJ's whole family. So they got hit by Katrina, and the whole family relocated to Houston, right? So when he got traded here last week, I texted his mom. She was on a high. I texted his sisters. They were just ecstatic. They got kids. DJ's got 4 kids. All the cousins are together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And DJ texted me. It was Friday night was his first game, last Friday, right? And so my wife and I went to the game. Like, DJ left his tickets. And, you are from Houston. There's so many people that would probably love to come see you play, and you left tickets for me and my wife.
Right.
You left,
I saw that.
You have 3 tickets, and you left 2 for me and my wife. Like, that's huge,
that's
right?
Love, yeah.
And I texted him after the game, and you know what he told me? He said, "Bro, I'm so happy I almost cried during the anthem."
Oh, really?
Because he's home.
Yeah.
Like, forget playing for a championship team and stuff. He's a family guy, right? And he's home, and his family is with the rest of his family.
That's huge.
Awesome.
Guys don't get that opportunity.
Exactly.
You think he'll try to wrap it up here if he can?
If he can, without
sure.
1,000%, yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I can only imagine because his kids lived here, his wife and kids.
Yeah. So he just had a baby girl, Tori, like a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Or like maybe 2 months ago at the most.
So he just had a kid
right before All-Star break. He had a baby. And so he's got 4 kids. I think Kaylee, like the oldest one, is 8.
Oh, okay.
So 8, 5, 3.
Okay, so
and then a
do
newborn.
they go with him when he travels?
Yeah, the whole family moves.
Oh wow, so that's hard too, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Just switching schools and all that stuff.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's pain in the ass.
I have so much respect for, like, just the way that he is as a person, and then how much he does for his family. Like, he's one of very few people that I look up to as like the perfect person.
Awesome.
Okay, awesome.
That's real, man. And
shout out DJ. We hope you stay, bro.
For real. We all hope he stays. Yeah.
I mean, shit. I mean, you're probably the best player on the team right now. so go ahead and put that out there. Straight up, bro. Like, you're the only hope right now. So please just stay.
Now, I don't know about the best, but he got 2 of the awards, shortest and longest career. 2 of them.
I want to see him work that pick and roll with Christian Wood.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah. No, he's solid player, but better dude.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Shout out to him.
Done a lot for me, man.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see you, the brand, the gym, 5 years from now and beyond?
So if you would have asked me this 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I would have been like, I want to expand and have a location in Dallas, Orlando, Atlanta. I would have told you that. Seeing what it has done to me when we're talking about the priorities and all that, I'm good. I'm good. Like,
Wow.
like I'm working on my exit strategy.
Wow.
Wow.
You know,
Okay.
like
Damn.
like I wanna
That's dope.
I wanna mold the future of the company to take over, and I'm just there supervising and helping when I'm needed,
When you
and I'm
need.
traveling with the players that need me. That's
live.
so like I'm literally working on my
And this
exit
is all
strategy.
probably a part of your, like the therapy. And
Waking
stuff,
back
right?
up. Yeah, man. Like I
absolutely,
get lost in that shit, and I need to wake it. Kick myself out of it, and so now I am.
Right.
Man,
That's-
shout outs to you, bro.
that's
That's
dope.
amazing.
Cause and I respect that so much, bro. Cause like you could probably expand easily, make a shitload more money or whatever.
I'm
You'd have to
good.
sacrifice a lot. No, I feel you,
Yeah.
but I mean, this you can still do it. I'm just like but right now what's important. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of people don't. Dude, a lot of people get caught up in the sauce, bro.
Yeah, they get caught
You
up,
know?
and I never want to forget again
Yeah.
what's important.
Yeah.
That's my priority, is
Yeah.
to never forget what's important, what's most
Yeah.
important.
It's amazing, man. It's very mature of you having that awareness, like we talked about earlier, man. Because, like you said, bro, like people get lost, especially in the in the beginning stages of business, man. So
I
Especially
love what I do.
Because
you know?
because most business owners go through a downfall before they get to the top, right?
And so they fuck up even harder during the downfall.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
They're just spiraling. I mean, and I fucked up when we were on a high,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like,
And sometimes when you get through it and then you start seeing the light and you start making the money, you're like, people just get crazy. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, everything I work for is now, whatever. But like, I guess you kind of just like hit the brakes a little bit and you're like, let me step back, let me balance stuff out before I get.
You know what I actually want to do is I've always had an interest in public speaking, and so I actually want to go and like educate new business owners on like my story. You know what I mean? And then educate them on like what to expect. Like honestly, one of the first things I tell somebody when if it's a married person and they're looking to start a business and quit their job and they ask me for advice, I say, is your wife on board with it?
yeah,
Is your husband? Because it is going to be a lot of hours away from what you guys are used to, and your significant other has to be okay with that.
Yeah, bro. She gotta be a trooper.
for sure.
And especially if she's working or something. You know
Right.
what I mean? Also, like
Right.
my wife is or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
they need a break too. You know what I'm saying?
And
They
if
need-
there's a kid
you know,
involved too,
Yeah,
then
and
it's
it's just it's a lot. Bro,
I remember when
so-
I started out, so I worked with a lot of stay-at-home moms. That was most of my clientele.
Right.
And so my wife worked too. Like she was in HR
Yeah.
for a company and all that. And so I remember thinking to myself and then later having a conversation with her, like, when we eventually have kids, I want you to be at home with the kids.
That's my ultimate goal for my wife.
That
too.
was my
It's
goal.
simple, yeah,
Dead
for
ass,
sure,
right?
yeah.
And so I was able to accomplish that by building the business to a point where my wife, she didn't need to work, right? And so she's been at home for 3 years with my son. She'll be at home for my next son and both boys now. And so I accomplished that. And for me now, there's nothing left to accomplish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm good,
That's dope.
and it doesn't hurt me to say that at all. Like, I'm so happy. I'm
absolutely,
so
yeah.
happy with where I've gotten this thing to, and now the struggle is going to be finding the future of the company.
Absolutely. But I think
That also is a struggle in itself. Like, how are you gonna have that unfold, right? Like, that's like you figuring out the next 5 years, 10 years. Yeah, you have an exit strategy, but how does that strategy play out?
Right.
So
But
that's
if
that's
it
an
didn't hit the brakes right here, who knows where things would be in 10 years,
True,
right?
true.
Not just in business, but like in your personal life, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of stories that you hear are the ones that didn't hit the brakes.
Right.
And they just kept going full-fledged.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So moved around, did everything they had to do, and,
Yeah.
lost track of stuff. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? So,
Yeah. So like I said, my vision is clear, and it's never
Yeah.
to lose sight again.
Yeah, that's real mature, man. That's dope. That's,
I try, man.
You lit up a little light in my head, too. So.
the couple light bulbs lit up with this conversation for you today, huh?
Absolutely, man. I'm a human being, bro.
Absolutely,
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
for sure. Same with me too. No, honestly,
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah,
I should
so-
probably go talk to somebody too.
I got somebody.
I mean,
to
it's-
be looking. So
Yeah. I mean,
Josh tells me that all the time, though.
I mean, I think everybody needs to, you know?
yeah.
I need to. I think I'm going to do it, you know what I'm saying, sooner than later, like for sure, because I have a hard time letting people talk to me sometimes.
Well,
That's the problem.
So 2 words of advice if you are going to start, right? Number 1, expect to get worse before you get better. Because you're digging deep down into like your life and all the decisions that you've made, and like that shit wakes you up, and you're like, damn, like I really was fucked up, you know. Right. Number 2, I saw this the other day. It was like it was a meme or something, right? And somebody, like, it was a tweet, and somebody said, "Never lie to your therapist. Paying to lie is very stupid."
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and I could see myself doing that too. Not now, but like if I did it before, you know?
Right.
So no, absolutely, bro.
It doesn't benefit you at all. I was like, what the fuck is the point?
What's the point?
It's like going to the doctor and telling him you don't smoke, but you smoke, like, you smoke hella weed or whatever the case is. Like, he can see that shit.
You can see
it. Like, what's the point of not saying that?
What's the point of hiding your truth?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, insecurity, right? And then not wanting to speak to people about those.
But
deep,
why do you care about? Why do you worry about insecurities to your psychiatrist, right?
Right.
No, but I mean, dude, like, imagine if you've never opened up all of your like emotions and
it's
darkest demons.
It's embarrassing.
And shit.
It's embarrassing. It's shameful.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
You got to be okay with bringing all that to light.
Well, I think Charlemagne the God said it the best. He said, in therapy, you got to get dark before you see light. You know what I mean? Just like what you said right there.
True, bro.
So that's the only way you're gonna get through it. You know. So but and he's huge on therapy and stuff. But the reason I want to do it more, it's like people like you that make me feel comfortable. That, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not. You're not weak for doing it. Like, sometimes I'm looking at, I'm like, man, the strongest people need to talk to somebody, because a lot of times we don't know how to do it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So and I think there's a lot of people that's probably watching, and that feel the same way.
I hope so. I just,
right? Especially brown people, man. Like, we definitely need to learn how to talk more and stop, putting up a front all day, every day.
Yep,
so.
I agree. Yeah, no, it's definitely it's very, very important. And like I said, like, my only regret is not continuing on. And I took maybe a 9-year gap, from talking to somebody consistently, and that I feel like it messed me over a little bit. So
yeah,
got you.
Yep.
All right, Jay. Well, we appreciate you.
Appreciate
being on
y'all
the show.
having me on. Yeah.
But before you leave, we got to hit you with a fast 5. All right? 5
I
questions.
hate these fucking things, man.
All right. So 5 questions, rapid fire. Okay?
Hit
First
me.
thing that comes to your mind. Favorite Houston restaurant?
Liberty Taco.
Favorite workout?
Why are you making that face?
Wait, what? Liberty Taco? What is that?
You never been there?
No, what is that?
You been there?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Is that the one at the gas station?
Fire.
No, bro.
It's
Oh,
off,
yeah,
It's by the Galleria.
Oh,
Yeah, it's off of Richmond.
I'm thinking about something else. I thought it was the one like at these gas stations that we have.
Nah, Liberty Taco. I'm biased. I'm biased about Liberty Taco because it's not far from the gym, and they're fast, and I get
It's good? Okay,
and I
okay.
get
great
breakfast tacos.
There's
from
one.
them.
It's Laredo Taco. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
bro. That's the
thinking
shit you
about.
get at, like, Texaco.
Yeah, that's right here. They have one right here.
That's the one that I have you on the toilet for.
Yeah, exactly.
Trash. That's why I looked at you like that, because I was like, for real? I gotta take you to some taco spot.
Nah,
But okay,
Liberty.
that place probably good.
Liberty's
Okay.
good.
Okay,
It's
okay.
their sauce though. It's their sauce.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Favorite workout?
Pull-ups.
Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
Favorite artist?
Artist like rapper.
Yeah, music.
Anything.
Nelly.
Underlay.
All right. Power or respect?
Respect all the way.
I love that answer.
No question.
Mm.
You can't. We one of our sayings is strength and honor from Gladiator, and we always say you can't have one without the other.
Absolutely.
Same thing here. How do you get power if people don't respect you?
For sure.
Facts, man.
Yeah.
Facts.
So
Y'all heard it here first, man. That boy Jay.
Dropping game on you.
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Facts, man. Facts. Honestly, it's been a very eye-awakening experience. So.
I appreciate y'all having me on and letting me talk as much as I do.
absolutely.
Oh no, man! This is just one step to your future career in public speaking, right here, man.
Boom. There you go. I'm gonna hire an agent to get me some more speeches.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But you got a story for sure, and I think you're gonna touch a lot of people that watch this interview. Young, old, whoever.
Hopefully,
it's gonna be,
but like I want to invite anybody that's watching it to reach out. You know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah, go get a workout in too.
Well, this is the thing. Like,
Jay said he's gonna give me a discount.
wait till you see the discount. Yeah. No, but I do always say like I never want to be that dude that because I when I was up and coming in the field, I would reach out to people for advice and they would hit me back, right? Or they didn't want to help, and so from that moment I made a promise that I was never going to be that guy. So if you all reach out to me, I'm going to I'll at least hit you back.
Aren't those the worst? Aren't those the worst people, bro? But it's like you can't think about those. But I do, bro. I mean, I do the same thing as a DJ. Like you know what I'm saying? Like a very few people. Shout out DJ Yogi. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Appreciate
Yogi,
you.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cool dude, one of the coolest dudes, you know? So it just, but that's the only one, bro. Everybody else is kind of like, hey, you're in my fucking way. You know
all
what
you
I'm saying?
need is one.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
That's what it comes down to,
definitely.
man.
No, but I understand, for sure.
So, no, yeah, like y'all reach out because I'll hit back.
That's what's up, man. That's a real one right there. So, on that note, guys, we are out. This is C Real.
It's your boy DJ Chaka on the block.
We out. Peace.